Yeah, I'm.
Yo, what's up? This is a special episode of Splendid Radio on PharcydeTV, Monkey Hussle Chronicles. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that I think everybody's gonna be able to get something from, because we're gonna talk about like my generation, which like from my age group. I'm really not into social media like that. Like I use it because I kind of have to, but I'm not a rapper, so it's like not my tool. We have guest coming from Houston, Texas, Mr.
Risky Cereal, Drew.
Okay, Risky Cereal, Drew. We got OG Thesis from shoot, he's just a solo MC now, but when I met him, man, he was part of this group that was hotter than Kion, man, but they was just too hot for their own good. but me watching them, they really had an organic buzz where like they had it popping from MySpace. And then and one of the good things about Thesis is he's one of those cats, which I'm kind of glad that we all were brought here by the Monkey Hussle Chronicles, because he knows like how valuable social media is and how to work it as an independent artist. And it's been a tool that has allowed him to communicate with people around the world. You know what I'm saying? Where he's never been on a major record label, but social media has kind of evened the playing field for him, where he's been able to communicate and get his music out to different people and whatnot. And then we have Booty Brown from the Pharcyde. So before I get into why we here, I want to show everybody this right here. So to the average eyes, this looks like a brick, a dirty brick, as a matter of fact. But as this ties, and I just ask you guys to be patient because we going somewhere with this. This brick ties into one of my first adult Monkey Hussle Chronicles. And what happened is I had somebody who was my homeboy at the time, and they were working at Wendy's. This was 1991. So he calls me up, and I always worked like 2 jobs, and I got my hustle on. So I always had like a little expendable cash. So he was working at a Wendy's, I believe. So he hit me up and he said, man, we got these guys here and they got camcorders. And the camcorder, and at that time in 91, camcorders was like $1,500, $1,800. And he's like, man, if you get more than one, they're like $200. And so I was like, man, I don't even really, what would I do with a camcorder? Like in 91, I DJ'd a little bit, but I wasn't interested in like no filming. It's you gotta understand, this was just so far beyond social media. So at that time, if you had one, either your family kind of had money if you had a camcorder, or you wanted to be in film school, like you wanted to really take that to the next level. So anyway, I go bust my check, go to Bank of America. Matter of fact, my check was $631. That's so funny how I remember exactly how much it was. I go and bust this 630 for 2 weeks, 2 weeks of work, $631. I go down there, bust this check, and I go up to meet my homeboy, and he got these 2 sketchy looking dudes around him. And he's like, yo, man, you know, they were on a train and their homeboy was throwing these camcorders off the train. And so, you know, we got these camcorders. We know they $1,500, $1,800 at Circuit City, but we got them $200 a piece if you get more than one. So I was like, oh man, this is a no-brainer. So I said, well, and then my boy was like, man, we should get a bunch of them. And I was like, nah, I tell you what, I wasn't gonna get one, but if you're getting 2, I'll get 1. So I basically busted my whole check down, had $31 left over. We get these 3 boxes, and so the guys are like, yo, we don't know who was watching us when we hopped off the train. So man, we just got to get out of here real quick, man. We got to get out real quick. And he's like, dude, if I was you, I wouldn't hang around. Just get where you got to go and then do your thing. So we go 5 minutes. And I got the car too. So I got the car, I got the cameras, and I got. That's those are the 3 things that I had. So we get to my boy's house, go to his bedroom, start opening the boxes, and it's cardboard that has been wrapped around and cut around these bricks, and they took advertisements 4 camcorders and wrapped it around the bricks, and and it looked like they was camcorders. And so, you know,
do all that.
Oh man, that was a moment in my life, man, that I thought that I would not recover from, man. I was just so hot. Like I had $31 for the next 2 weeks. And then my homeboy, you know, of course he didn't pay me back. You know what I'm saying? To this day. You know?
to this day. Let's get him on a Zoom.
Hey, man. What? I ain't gonna even tell you how he licked me in the present. You know what I'm saying? He really licked me, like, dude. And you know what? I deserved it because I prime myself for it. Because when you fool with people after they lick you, it's on you, man. Yeah. But yeah, he licked me a couple years ago, like a real lick, like it wasn't for a lot, but it played with my mind because he agreed to something. And I could have easily just said no, but he's like, no, man, I got you. It was the same. It was the same from the first Monkey Hussle Chronicle. Oh man, I got you. Don't even trip. And when it came down to the rubber hitting the pavement, ghosted me, disrespected me. It was just like so much that came with it. But I felt that I had kind of earned that. And the funny thing about it, I'm glad that we're having this Monkey Hussle Chronicle because I didn't even put the two together until right now. But I needed that. I needed that. So let's start with you, Drew. OG. Now, Drew, OG homeboy. He lived in LA forever. He had the nuts to get up out of here. He went to Houston with from scratch with his family. He rebuilt the situation, an incredible photographer. But Drew's one of them cats that I'll say he's somebody that I check in with every 2 weeks just on GP. I don't talk to a lot of people. I don't deal with a lot of people, whatever. But Drew has always been progressive. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where I feel like, well, it's certain people I need to reach out and touch every couple of weeks because they might just say something to inspire me in a different way. Not necessarily me trying to get nothing from him per se, just like I'm going to bite Drew or get something from Drew or whatever. But when you got homeboys, it's not financial currency, but it's energy currency. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And just like goodwill. So with that being said, Drew, break down your Monkey Hussle Chronicle.
Well, here it is. First off, man, shout out to you, Smooch. Shout out to you, Brown, man. I appreciate y'all. These dudes helped me in times, man. I just popped up somewhere and like made myself a job. Like, let me start doing something. Hey. But look, let me tell you something else. Smooch, this is about to trip you out. So I'm with Muhammad when he was little. I don't remember, he's hella little. He got a little bubble goose. We go downtown. He's so small, I have to carry him at times to come across the street and stuff. But
real quick, Drew, not to cut you off, but Muhammad is his son. So
you're my son. Sorry, man. And so, peace to you too. I don't think we got to really talk. But so we're downtown in the Garment District. I'm looking for t-shirts. So I got Muhammad with me. These dudes roll up in a car and was like, hey, want to buy a camcorder? Fucking camcorder, man. And I'm thinking on some film shit. I've always wanted to. I'm like, yeah. So I walk up to the car with Muhammad. I look in the car. Dude has a bag, like a camcorder bag. He unzip it and he go in, he break out the camcorder, flip the screen open. I'm like, that's the shit that I need. And he told me, he was like, I give it to you for like $250. Something, think $250. And I'm like, man, I don't got $250. Look, man, this is real. I'm standing there with Muhammad. I look across the street and see a fucking Bank of America.
Oh, hold on 1 second, Drew. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you, man.
Yeah, I just told it in when you were saying
understand everything.
Because I'm like, damn, I got for a camcorder too. But I just tried to get one. So I go across the street. I put my card in, get this 200 because, you know, this shit is hard earned. I just, you know what I mean? So I come back across the street and dude there, remember, he in the passenger seat, the driver is over there. I give him the 200. He hand me the bag. He rolling off. I open the bag. It's not the fucking camcorder. It's like a camera. You remember how they had them big ass cameras that look like a camcorder? It was one of those. I was so hot. I wanted to chase the car, but I had Muhammad. I couldn't leave him. I couldn't run with him.
Oh man, and they knew that. Believe that.
They knew it. They saw me. They saw me. They picked it out. As you can see, that's still, you know what I'm saying?
Monkey Hussle. I got one more I'm gonna get off, and then we're gonna go to Thesis, and then we're gonna get to Brown, then we're gonna have a conversation. So I got about 3 years ago. My father has a business. I help him out a lot. Only got one parent, so it's just like I really give him a lot of attention. So someone had called me from his office, and they said, Southern California Edison is here right now. So they said they want to speak to you. So homeboy got me on the phone. He said, hey, Mr. Campbell, you know, your bill is past due, and I've got to cut it off right now. But if you stay with me on the phone and I can tie in someone from the accounting department, we can resolve this without me having to cut the electricity off. But I've got to leave. If I can get you on the phone with this person, then I got to leave and I got to go to another stop. But I'm just going to do this courtesy for you because I see this as an insurance agency and I don't want to shut, I don't want to shut the electricity down because I know you guys got to, do business. So I'm on the phone, they transferred me over where I'm talking to the accounting department. So they're like, Mr. Campbell, how are you doing? I'm like, fine. Then they read off the address and I'm like, yeah, that's what it is. And he says, well, you know what? He said that he had to go to another location, but I'm tracking him right now and I can see that he's parked. So he's probably having his lunch. I don't want him to have to come back and cut you guys' electricity off. But what I can do is this. If you can go to a Rite Aid right now, and they have, I think it was like a green dot or some type of little card or something like that. And they said, if you can go and pay the bill with this green dot card, then what I'll do is we'll knock off 35% of the bill for you being a good customer and you complying and wah. So I got all kind of phone calls coming in. I say, can you hold on for 1 minute? They're like, well, we can't hold too long because we got, other people and he's parked right around the corner. I'm tracking him. So I'm like, well, okay, let me try to put him on hold and call on the other line in Southern California Edison because I was kind of feeling like it was a little funny and I was going to see if I could make a payment arrangement because the payments, like all important bills, I have them hooked to like bank accounts so that like a credit card isn't going to trip. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got it hooked directly to the bank account that got the money in there, you're not gonna have to go through it. So
Smooth. I don't want to cut you off, but while you're saying it, that's the thing. I think that's the number one clue right there when you feel the hustle coming on is when you're being rushed. Like whenever somebody is making you feel like you gotta hurry up and do something, like that's the sign right there. Because the other day, that was the sign for me that I did not pay attention to because they kept saying, oh man, you gotta hurry up. You gotta hurry up. It's like that window's closing. And I was like, fuck, man. And I was like frustrated. But anyway, I'm gonna let you go with your story. But the rush factor is part of it. The rush factor.
Because anybody watching, we are going somewhere with this. Trust me. But I gotta build it up because it's not. See, the thing about it, we've all been hustled, we all been got, but no one talks about it. Like it's just the thing that like no one talks, or it's not in a space where other people can see what's happened. And then it's kind of like when you get hustled, like when I got. So anyway, I'll go to that. But let me finish the story. So anyway, I go in, get the green dot. I end up spending like, I want to say I ended up spending like $700 and something dollars. And I get the card, and I mean, even the person who I was on hold with from the accounting department, they had like an East Coast accent. And they're like, oh, Mr. Campbell, you're very responsible. I'm glad that you've taken care of this. Third. So then I scratch off the back of the card. I give them all the information. Then afterwards, I say, man, now I'm going to call, because the whole thing was you can't get off the phone with me. You got to do this. So then I call Southern California Edison. And they're like, oh, Mr. Campbell, I'm sorry, man. There's been a lot of fraud going on, man, period. It's going on everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You know what I would recommend you do. We can't give you credit, but what we can do is we have a department that you can report this to, and you can give them the phone number of the people that called you, and then we can see what they can do. But you know, they didn't do nothing, and I got. So that was that. So now let's go to Thesis. Now, I hadn't spoken to Thesis. I known him since he was a wee lad. You know what I'm saying? Back with the cloud makers. But his work ethic has always been impeccable. You know, and like he's one of those people that I'll say, if he's interested in it, he's a very smart cat. But like a lot of people, if it doesn't interest him, he's just like brain dead too. Like, dude, it's like on another planet to him. Like, dude, he's not even concerned with. So when it comes to like social media, music, like this was a dude who was working his way to get on bills for larger shows because he knew that the passion that him and his crew had was something that people could gravitate towards, and like I gravitated towards it. Like when they was hot, they was popping. So anyway, Brown, we're gonna get to Brown's story last, but because of Brown's story,
it's tied in together. It's tied.
Yeah, they tie in together. So I called. Well, before I called, I communicated with Thesis through Facebook, but I was on the phone with Brown, and so Thesis, he could kind of tell that I wasn't feeling that it was really him, and I couldn't see it. So I don't know if I asked him 2 questions or if I said something, but he said my favorite rapper was E40, and he said I taught him how to screen print. So I was like, okay, we got Thesis on the phone. You know? Well, I'm chatting with him because I asked Thesis if he had WhatsApp. And I had Brown on the phone, but I was chatting with him on my phone. I was chatting with Thesis on my phone, and Brown was like, "Nah, man, don't call him on WhatsApp. Don't get him on WhatsApp." He's like, you know, something weird might happen. Which Brown was shell shocked by the events that happened to him, and so then I get Thesis on the phone. I get Brown on the phone, which for those watching, I manage Brown, and so Beyonders being like friends over 20 plus years. From a management aspect, when Brown, I got a text message from Brown at about 4 a.m, and he says I got hacked. And so, you know, man, I was half asleep. I looked at it. It wasn't, you know, didn't seem like a big deal. And then our social media person texted me and said it might be kind of bad, Greg. And then I was like, okay, I need to call him. So then I call Brown, and I'm talking to him, and he's not really explaining to me what happened, but he's just like, man, you know, they got control of this, that, the third, whoa, 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 whoa. So then I was like, well, you know what? The only thing I could do to help Brown is reach out to people that I know have something to do with Instagram, this, that, and the third. But I felt like he wanted to have a conversation, and he wasn't giving me all the details. And so as a friend, as a manager and everything, I was trying to be there for him, but I felt there was more that he needed. So then I was like, well, if I'm chatting with Thesis, let me get the 2 of them online, and then they can have a conversation. And even if it don't make sense to me, it'll make sense to them. And boy, if we could play the audio from the conversation when I got with Brown, and I was sitting there like, dang, I was like, and it's so crazy. And the one thing that Thesis said that was very powerful, that see, I'm 50 years old. So, and I believe partially because of like my traveling with the Pharcyde, and before the Pharcyde, I always worked a job and got mines on. So I ain't never lacked for like money. I've been kind of broke at times and tight at times, but I always was a go-getter. So like I had mine. So when I got Thesis on the phone with Brown, Thesis was kind of like, okay, man, you know, this is a bad situation. Thesis was like, you know, part of the reason why this happened has to do with today's culture of people actually not picking up the phone and talking to each other. which that's why, and that's why I pulled Drew into it, because Drew's a cat that I'll call every 2 weeks, or he'll hit me. Like he is a homeboy that I keep, and it ain't about me wanting something from him wanting anything from me. And we wasn't even the closest dudes in the world. We just known each other for a long time. But my thing is, instead of looking for motivation or heroes, which due to my mom passing and everything, I use a lot of motivation to just keep me kickstarted. So I draw energy off of people. And then partial why Brown and I click so tight, because he's got an insight that I don't have. But with Drew's somebody, like, instead of me looking at like a Dame Dash or a Biggs Burke or a Jay-Z or all these dudes that might say a couple slick things online that they turn into like a short little clip that everybody's feeling like, oh, I'm a prophet because I posted with this. I got people that I can reach out and touch that I know that can motivate me. And like, it might not even be because they've done the greatest thing in the world. It might be just that like with Drew, dude, I could never fathom getting up out of California, like just grabbing everything, breaking all ties, not looking back. I'm going to reroute somewhere totally different, take my family and just get it. Like, I'm not built like that. So I look at a cat like Drew and I'm like, dude, I'm going to talk to Drew. I'm going, like, he has a level of strength, a level of energy that I don't have. And where I am in my life right now, I'm all about growth, I'm all about motivation. So I reach out and I touch cats. Now, Thesis, I hadn't talked to Thesis in, like, man, since COVID really jumped off, and I needed some help, and I was trying to get him to come and help. But hearing him and Brown talk, one of the most powerful things that he said was, he said, man, this is where we are right now, and people communicate through chat. They communicate through text. They don't talk to each other. That's, you know, you start going through all this stuff, and I'm thinking, and I'm like, man, we have been dumbed down as a society to where, like, we will communicate with people, but it's just really easier to peck some buttons. You know what I'm saying? So when you get trained like a lab rat, when you get trained to that, and one more quick one. I did a festival with Brown and partnered with Golden Voice called Pharcyde Fest. Ended up getting Slink Johnson to host it. I didn't talk to Slink until like a week before, and I was just going back and forth with him through Instagram, and I didn't know that I was actually talking to Slink until it was a Friday night, and Brown had called me and he said, man, you should get Slink to do a drop, and then we could put it on IG, and then he could blast it out and woo, 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 woo. And so I was driving home, and I ordered a pizza. So I was gonna go by the pizza spot, and then I'd have Slink. I'd hit Slink to do the drop once I got to the pizza spot. Then I go home and chill out. And so I go, and I'm realizing as I'm asking Slink for his phone number through Instagram, dude, I done took money on this dude's behalf. I done had Golden Voice do advertisements with this dude's name and everything. And I'm like, dude, I ain't even talked to him. I don't even know if it's the real Slink. And for a moment while I was waiting for my pizza, I was like, dang, dude. I was like, dude, if you messed up, dude, this is gonna be bad, man.
But you know, but before Thesis start, I'll just say, like, man, with that story, I'll say, man, like, the dangers of non-communication, the dangers of non-communication with just talking. Like, dude, we rather text and drive than just call. Like, dude, it's safer to just talk to somebody while you're driving. But dude, you'll risk your life. You'll risk your life texting somebody while you're driving, dude. Just like, and so that's how, like, communication levels have gotten us to a point where it's like where we are right now, dude, it's dangerous. Like, it's a dangerous situation, not just talking to somebody. And I don't know why we all avoid it in some type of way. Like, I avoid it. Like, it's like you're too busy, or you just don't want to do it, or you just feel like, oh man, I'm not gonna do that. Like, man, I don't want to talk to somebody, whatever.
It's easier. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But it's not easier because it's hard to text and drive, dude. Like texting and driving.
That's definitely tough. It's easier to get on the phone, most definitely. But people are not used to it anymore. They want separation, kind of, you know, and then you can't even really understand what somebody says via text sometimes. You can't take it all for what you're reading.
Yeah.
Like I hit somebody up, like a chick I didn't really know, and I'm like, I think I'm putting sex, but I put sex in there. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I didn't read this for a while.
Creep. You got the
exactly. Like, who's this
like
creep? Why do you know this dude? Right. Calling is better. You're right.
Yeah.
So
I think it's just being able to calculate what you're gonna say and really, you know, having a conversation is really spontaneous. So, you know, being able to text, you can really think out, you know, your next response in the conversation. I think people like that. You know, I think people like being able to control their emotions when they're talking and really like think about what they're gonna say next instead of, you know, just having to have an actual conversation with somebody. I think that's what makes texting easier in those regards.
And real quick, Thesis, one thing that Thesis said to me that like really hit a chord. He and Brown, because I'll let him and Brown talk, because once again, we're going to get into what we're building up to with this Monkey Hussle. But Thesis said something that hit me so hard, and it was like he said, man, that's how people communicate nowadays. And I was like, damn, like to hear him say that, and he's younger, you know, he's not the youngest, but he's younger than me. But to hear him say like, oh, through social media, that's how I communicate. That's how I get my music out. That's how I do this. That's how I do that. And he started breaking down like all these things other than somebody just browsing social media to look at girls or look at, you know, just food or just whatever. Like he uses it the way that it should be used, as well as Brown uses it in a way where he uses it to market his stuff. So before we get to Brown, Thesis, I want, do you have any Monkey Hussle Chronicles? And if you don't have a Monkey Hussle Chronicle, I want you to tell us about your homeboy that had got Monkey Hussle that in that little part, and then we'll go on to Brown.
Well, you know, it's funny. Yesterday I had just talked to a homie about what I was going through, and he told me about one that his grandfather went through. I think he said like this 80s or 90s. And it was a similar thing with a Nigerian dude that was telling him that he could do, you know, I can't remember the exact story, but it was like, you know, send me $1,000 for this processing fee and we'll get you set up with, you know, whatever. And so he sends him 1,000 and the guy ends up sending him more money back. And it's like, oh, you know, I was able to get this for you, you know, here's the money back. So he ends up getting the money, having more. And now the guy's like, we're going to do another one, but this one, I'm going to need like 5,000, you know, and he sends him 5 and he ends up getting like, you know, 7,500 back, you know, and then the big one is he's like, I'm going to need 50,000 this time. And he sends him the 50,000 and then the guy disappears. And he was telling me that his grandpa didn't have a great career. Like he was saving his money for, you know, his retirement. He wasn't going to have a retirement plan, no kind of social security. He was saving his money so he could take his family and they could survive off of it. And that really caused like a turmoil in him and in his grandfather and grandmother's relationship. And you know, it's just his whole life was basically ruined. And he was an older cat, you know, he's in his, you know, 50s and this happens to him.
The crazy thing about it is that I watch movies, you know what I'm saying? And for me, like sci-fi is what I like to watch. But I'll watch a good thriller, you know what I'm saying? Like and it won't be anything that I've set my mind to or whatever, but it'll, like on Sundays, I'll give myself a movie. That's my day where I go through DirecTV or just whatever. And I got a gang of channels, so I just, you know, figure that out. And the funny thing about it, I was thinking last night, I was like, man, in different ways, what I've said that just happened to me a couple times earlier, what Drew said happened to him, what Thesis is about to say what happened to him, and then with Brown, dude, this shit has been in movies, like, but you don't be paying attention to the movies, like, and they set it up so swell. Like I was with this cat today, and I'm helping him get some stuff together so they can do a podcast. And I told him kind of what happened, and he was like, "Oh man, and he's older than me by like 10 years. He's like, "Oh man, that's an old school grift." I'm like, "A grift?" I'm like, "What's a grift?" He's like, "Okay, see that guy sitting behind that desk back there? He tells you he's shitting out bricks. You don't see gold bricks. He tells you he's shitting out gold bricks. You don't see the gold bricks, but you hear metal clinking, and he's sitting there and he's squatting over, and he lifts up a gold brick and he gives it to you, and he says, "Hey man, I'm shitting them out." You know what I'm saying? Hold on, hang on to this. You know what I'm saying? Here's your gold brick. You can have it or whatever. So you like, dang, you don't want to believe it. You're not actually seeing him do it, but he gives you a gold brick. So then you go, you tell some of your people, and they're like, "Well, you do have a gold brick in your hand. You didn't do anything to get the gold brick. So if the dude says, well, you know what? I need some food to shit out these bricks." You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And it's not going to just happen with some regular food. I need some Roof Crisps, and I just need to be around some money. So bring me some cash. If I got some cash around me and some Roof Crisps, that's the special alchemy that I need to shit out these gold bricks. And I was like, damn. So with all that being said, my family's from Mississippi. We smoke meat and we tell stories. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? I own that. So now let's go into you, Thesis, and let you finish your part out. We're going to get to Brown, the whole reason that has brought this whole Monkey Hussle alchemy together.
Yeah, man. I mean, the same thing that happened with Brown and me happened to me, you know, prior. I had seen a couple people on my page. The first guy that I saw, he's a little sketchy of a character, you know, so I hit him up. You know, what they do is they have you make a video of you saying that you got the money. So you're like, you know, I got $10,000 and all I had to invest was 1,000. So now you got people hitting you up. So I hit this guy up like, yo, what's the deal with this? And he's like, it's legit, man. It's cool. I got my money already, but I just, you know, I don't know him too well. I'm not really trying to get into anything like that with him. So I just kind of ignore it. Maybe like 4 days later, I see another friend who's a little bit closer. I trust a little bit more, same video. And so I'm like, what is this? Like, I'm thinking maybe I'm missing something. I know it's a hustle. I don't necessarily think that it's legit, or maybe it's something with crypto, because crypto is the kind of thing where, you know, you could get rich overnight. You know, people say you can't make a lot of money quick.
Real quick. So the dude who I was talking about, he's a coder too. And he was like, dude, I really don't like to fuck with that crypto shit because, dude, it's not regulated, and it's really like, and he said swordfish. And I don't know if you've seen the movie Swordfish or whatever. It's like, dude, the motherfucker hit a button and go off into the sunset, you know, go off into the sunset or whatever. So that's that. So keep on, Thesis.
Yeah. You know, so I see another friend who's a little bit closer, a little bit more trustworthy. I hit him up. I'm talking to him. And this whole time, like I've been on Instagram 10 years. I've never seen a situation where you were talking to somebody else on, you know, someone's account got hacked and now someone's impersonating them on their account. I've never seen that. Never once have seen somebody's account being run by somebody else. So that's not even on my mind when I'm with the sketchy stuff. I'm thinking is like they're gonna get my money and dip. You know, that's why I was weary about it, because I don't know them that well, and so I'm like, I don't trust them. So maybe they'll get my money, or maybe they know something and they're gonna get, you know, they're gonna get broke off from the people they recruit. I'm thinking it might be a pyramid scheme, or, you know, something like that. So I'm talking to the second guy. And I'm like, you really got 10 racks off of this? And he's like, I got it, man, like straight to my Cash App. And still, it's just like, I don't know him well enough. I still feel weird about it. So I back off. Maybe 3 days later, I see this DJ, a dude I've worked with. He's got some cool credentials. You know, it seems like he's got his bread, like everything's cool for him. So I'm just like, if he's co-signing this, like something's up, you know, like, he was the one that legitimized it for me. So I message him and I'm talking, he's telling me the same stuff. It's legit. He got it. But the whole time I'm weary about sending him the money. I'm like, man, I don't know. Like, I'm nervous sending money. And I think they could probably sense that, because they got two outs. They could either get you for your money or they could get you for your account. you know. And for me, like not realizing that at that moment, I'm just focused on the money. I'm waiting for him to ask me for my credit card information. I'm waiting for him to ask me for a Cash App password or something sketchy. So he gets the info. He asked me for my info, and I look at it, and it's my IG. And you know, in my head, I'm thinking, even if he gets my IG, there's no money there. Like, there's nothing. Like, why would they want my IG? Like, I'm not tripping on that as long as, you know, I'm not giving out, like I said, my bank information or nothing like that. I send him the info that he wants, you know, my name, my birthday, basic stuff. And he says, okay, like the last thing we need to finalize this is that video. And it's basically like a script, you know, a loose script of you saying, I invested $1,000 and I got 10,000 back in less than 3 hours, you know? So you make the video, I sent it over to him. And as soon as he got the video, I was locked out of my IG. I'm like trying to change my password on there. He changed the email, he changed the phone number. You know, he basically made it so there was no way for me to get back into the account. So I used to run the Cloudmakers account, right? So, and it's just been inactive this whole time. So I go on the Cloudmakers account and start messaging him through the DJ's account. And I'm just like, yo, can I please have my account back? Like, I really need it. I worked hard on it. Like, I have some stuff coming up. Like, it's just really important to me, you know? And he actually tried to get me to send another video of me being like, I wasn't hacked. Like, this is really me, you know? And I'm just thinking, like, if you were going to give me my account back, you wouldn't need that video. Like, it didn't make sense, you know?
Real quick, Sean, Thesis. The reason why this conversation is so interesting and people need to have more conversations like this is because what you're describing is an evolution of me getting hustled for my 3 bricks, of Drew getting hustled for the for the bag. While they took advantage of Drew. I had a little baby boy.
My little baby with me, man. They were cold.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Thesis, and then we're gonna get to Brown.
Nah, but I mean, that's the extent of it. So I got locked out, and man, it's really embarrassing. The most embarrassing part is they got the video. I've had 40 people be like, how'd they get the video though? And I gotta explain the whole story because it's such a complex thing to get to that point, you know. And you just got to keep explaining it to people because they don't get it, you know. And it's like, that was the worst part for me. That was the thing that it gave me some anxiety because I know that, you know, by day 3, this dude's in everybody's inbox with the video. You know, he's sending it, direct messaging it to people. And my face is just everywhere, like, make 1,000 into 10,000, you know, like you know that hundreds of people, thousands of people are seeing that. And man, it just, you know, it sucks, man. It's embarrassing to get got in that way, you know, to have them have the little piece, because that's what legitimizes the whole thing. It's like you see the video of the person that you know, and then how we were talking about, like, you know, me and Brown may have talked on the phone like 2-3 times since in our relationship, but we've talked on the internet like numerous dozens of times, you know, and it was always Brown. And on my end,
real quick, Thesis, and just so people know, Thesis has known me and Brown for about the same amount of time. So like 2006, 2007. So there is a relationship. It's like it's not on no fly by night stuff. And in the conversations, like, Thesis worked for me forever. I know his mom's like, it's like we're family. You know what I'm saying? So none of this is like loose stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like none of it is loose stuff. But I will say this. I didn't get embarrassed because it wasn't posted on social media, but after I got off the phone and I had sent that money through Rite Aid on the green dot or whatever for the Southern California Edison hustle, dude, I was on the phone for an hour and a half driving to multiple Walmart type of things until I got to a Rite Aid that actually had it because I was going to do it. But the thing that was driving me, it wasn't like financial gain. It was like, dude, your dad's business, they're going to cut the electricity. Like like there is something that goes into this that is higher than just a low level 3-car Molly Ponzi type of thing. Like, dude, they hit you, they communicate with you. Like put it this way. when Brown called me before we called Thesis, and I was just communicating with Thesis through Facebook chat, I really didn't think it was like, okay, at one point before he told me E40 and screen printing, I was kind of thinking it was him, but Brown was like, nah, dude, if you're going, because I was like, what's app? He was like, nah, man, if you're doing on that, you know, if you're going through that, dude, it could still be crazy. And it wasn't until he said the E40 and screen printing that I was like, oh, okay. So then at that point, I get Thesis on the phone, I get Brown on the phone, and then after them being on the phone for an hour, it started to make sense to me. Like it would not, like if Brown, because when Brown was telling me he was upset, he had been up all night. He literally been up all night, like literally up all night. And then me not getting into the conversation, because my thing was like, dude, I really didn't understand it. Like I couldn't, even though Brown was saying it to me, I couldn't understand it. And then Thesis was going through it. And then Thesis was saying like one of his homeboys they tried like from something that had to do with Thesis, one of his homeboys, they tried to get him for like $1,200 or something like that. But then the bank put the brakes on it. So then that didn't go through. But it's just crazy because as brothers, as people, it's cool, like social media, the joke, the ha, whatever. But dude, we need to communicate with each other. So with that being said, we are going to shift gears to Booty Brown and let him speak his story. And I'm not laughing at him.
No,
I'm laughing.
Dude, laugh. You need some type of medicine, man. Laughter is the best medicine. I guess I can just say that way. You know what I'm saying? So a couple days ago, I see Thesis. I see the post. I see the post of him saying, dude, I made this amount of money. I put 1,000 in. I got this. So when I see it, I don't pay no mind because, dude, back when I was in junior high, I got hustled by a homeboy named Khalif Muhammad. Homeboy was at school, and it's not his fault. So at that time, it was the airplane game, pyramid scheme, whatever you want to call it. They were doing it at the mosque. I had asked my mom to borrow. It was $1,000 to get in. I asked my mom for $500. Dude, I'm putting up $500 in junior high. This is like, dude, I probably was like 6th or 7th grade. I like, man, wow. I had so dude, I'm putting up $500.
Real quick, Brown, to bring everybody up to speed. When Brown was in junior high, $500 like $1,500. So that's like
a lot of money, man.
We're not talking about any fly by night bread. This is like some like
make it different. I do multiple yards had been mowed. Dude, lot of haircuts, lot of bullshit. So I put up the money, and it's supposed to turn around. Like, airplane game, you got to get so many people. So, dude, we had to bring other people in. So I got the money from my mom. I brought other people in to get the whole thing going. Dude, 2 months go by, month go by. I see my homeboy Muhammad at school every day. I'm like, dude, what's up, man? What's up? Oh man, it's good. It's going good. It's going good. Then, dude, he didn't come to school for like a week or 2 weeks. So I'm like, man, what's going on? I'm like, what, why is he not coming to school? He came back, man. He was just embarrassed. Like, man, he was just like, dude, things didn't work out. Like, it just, people couldn't get enough people to join in and make it flow. You know what I'm saying? So that lesson had always been in my head. So I say that because at the beginning of COVID and people were getting their unemployment, this flower game started coming into thing, and everybody was like, man, you got to get into the flower. And I was like, man, I done did that, man. I'm not fucking with that flower shit, man, because that's nothing but the old airplane hustle. Like, dude, I got by that when I was in junior high. So I'm saying all this because, like, man, I'm always kind of skeptical. So, like, when I saw Thesis post, I was, you know, like, dude, you kind of do your research, go on Google, you look for the scam, you look for the like signs of like something could be wrong, some type where like what this is too good to be true kind of thing. So I see his post, I paid attention, but not any attention. So then the DM hits me. Yo, I got this whole thing. Now, mind you, the people that are hitting you, they are using the vernacular and vocabulary that somebody would talk to you. So when I'm when I'm seeing Thesis hit me on the DM, it's like, yo, what's up, bro?
They've
like,
done their, excuse me, real quick, Brown. They've done their homework. So what they do is they'll actually go through and they'll see interactions between two people and how they interact. And then they'll take bits and pieces. So, and the reason why this is the Monkey Hussle Chronicles, this isn't any basic type of stuff. Like what I went through and what Drew went through was basic. Like that was a very unsophisticated, basic post social media knowledge, whatever. Like when I heard, and I'm gonna let Brown go on this thing, but one thing that I did yesterday when I had Brown and Thesis on the phone, I said, man, everything that you're saying to me that I didn't understand, because I promise you on everything, nothing Brown said to me was making sense to me until I got him and Thesis on the phone, and then they're going back and forth, and then I'm getting it, and I'm like, dude, what you're dealing with aren't any dope heads. You're dealing with somebody who's graduated from college, and there's also like probably like multiple people working in concert with each other because there's research done behind this hustle. It's not basic. Like nothing about this is basic.
Not at all. So
go ahead, Brown. I'm sorry.
So I see the thing. So basically, who I think is Thesis, we're going back and forth on IG. Like, and dude, I'm not, you know, like, dude, I'm still hesitant. I'm hesitant as hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? But with you know, got this whole little thing, Mike Rim and Sean Crystal, we got this whole thing. We did like an NFT. So I got this crypto money that's to the side, and it's just there. I'm not doing nothing with it, but watching it go up and down. You know what I'm saying? Just seeing it. So I'm like, man, I'll take this money if I can put 500 in, and it can make whatever. Shit, man. Let me just let it go. Like it's not doing anything. I'm not doing anything with it. I'm just, like I said, I'm just watching the market go up and down. So they hit me up. They tell me to register for the site. So I'm looking at the site. I'm like, I'm like, man, the site looks legit. You know what I'm saying? It's called Linux Coin Trade. So I go into the site, start putting the money. Now, mind you, it started off at $500. So then they tell me, well, there's a lot of investors that's in it right now, but you got to hurry up.
The rush.
You got to hurry up. Like, man, we need 1,000. So I had around $900 in whatever type of cryptocurrency. So I put the 900 in. Then they say, oh man, you know what? There's, you know, it just went up. It's gonna cost you $1,500 to basically get into the whole little thing. So I didn't have the money actually there. I had to kind of figure out. Now I'm streaming at the same time, and my mind is all over the place. They saying, dude, go to this site, go to the Changeless, go to Bitcoin site, go, because like for whatever reason, Gemini, you can't just take the money and just change it to crypto. Like it takes a couple of days. So they tell me, go to this site can automatically change the money faster and you'll be able to just pull it out. So they start rushing. Well, maybe you should go down like, you know, go on Google Maps and see if you can find a Bitcoin ATM that's near you, and you can take the money out of your bank account to the Bitcoin, but it's going to be a little difficult for you to do that. So I'm streaming. I'm like, man, I can't stop the stream because the shit is going on. So I finally get everything going, and then I'm still hesitant. So while I'm being hesitant, they have somebody who I believe is Thesis talking to me like, well, dude, you just got to do this, and this, you got to do this, and this, like all the time. Every time I feel like I'm like, I don't want to do it, they kind of like show me like they like, I never, dude, they Kaiser Soze me, man. They, it's like they looking at it said, she was fat as a whale. And like, dude, like I was like, oh man, okay, like, shit, man, it's like, I can, I could do it. So then I get everything in, and then like Thesis said, so because I was so hesitant or whatever, like I see the money. So basically the money, I was supposed to get 15,000 for the money I put in. The 1.5 is supposed to turn into 15, 10 times the amount. When I look at the count on the on the site, it says 50,000. So I'm like, damn, nigga just put off a hell of a lick. Like I done got, like, man, I done like the rabbit's foot, man. I'm like, damn, I did it right on time. You know what I'm saying? So then they're like, we need you to do this appreciation video. And I'm like, man, shit, I got 50 racks. Man, that's the least thing that I could do. You know what I'm saying? That's the least thing that
real quick, not to cut Brown off, but I am, but we do this, we talk every day. We do this back and forth. We do this, not cut off back and forth. Now, this is the thing. If you really feel like somebody's giving you $50,000, it's 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning while all this is going on. This isn't going on at like noon. It isn't going on at the day. This is like at nighttime.
Tired.
But dude, you're really thinking it, dude. You're really, and you're watching it. It's like this is what I want to explain to people. When it comes to the Monkey Hussle, I got on several times was somebody telling me, let me borrow $1. And then they go to everybody, and everybody would lend this dude $1. And then when everybody's hungry that's around this dude, he's got a pocket full of money and he's eating better than everybody. So that was the prehistoric Monkey Hussle. So from that to the one of 3 $200 bricks, you know what I'm saying? So then we evolved to Drew, where he gets to snatch and grab almost while he's got his little baby Muhammad as part of the,
he saw me, man.
Part of the whole setup. Then we go to Thesis in his story about some older cat that had saved up some money, man, whatever. So I say all this to make a timeline. Like the Monkey Hussle, where we are right now, it has evolved. So go ahead, Brown.
So I see the 50 racks. Like Thesis said, they're like, for the Cash App to work, the Cash App kind of works with Instagram. But dude, like my mind is not functioning at this time, dude. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, like 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like, dude, so I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna give up the Pharcyde. Like, man, that's just a lot of shit to give up. So I'm like, let me just do PharcydeTV, because I'm like, dude, first I got like 5 accounts. So I was like, let me do Lab Life Pro, whatever. So they're like, nah, that's not working. So I was like, well, fuck it, let me just do PharcydeTV. So then they're like, nah, that's not working. It's not linking up. So like, I see this 50,000 there. You're telling me that this shit is not going to work. So I'm trying to get this money to
let's make it work.
Yeah. So then I'm like, fuck it. I just got to give up the golden goose. Like, man, I'll give up the golden goose. So like, man, I give the passwords to the thing. They're like, perfect, it works. That's gonna work. So then they hit me with like, okay, Mr. Robinson, we're gonna need 2,000 more in Bitcoin. We need to deposit this 2,000 more in Bitcoin to this account so we can release the money into the Cash App. So I'm like, well, why don't you just release money to Cash App? I'll pay you more of a percentage because the money will be there. They're like, no, that's not how it works. That's not the rules. So like we go back and forth. Like they're really like man, homegirl they're trying to make me angry. It's like they feel like I'm angry, but I'm not angry. I'm being dude. I'm trying to be
antagonizing you. They're trying to give you the real quick. I've been at so many airports across the world where you have these little women, and I'm not against women, but these were little women because they see rappers coming, and I'd have the band and everybody, and they would just try to do something to make me just lose my cool and call so they can make us lose a flight. No way. So go on, Brown.
So they're trying to get me. So like I'm not falling for it. So then they're like, well, they keep doing the rush thing. So they're like, well, the 2,000 is not going to work. You're now going to have to pay 3,500. So I'm like, well, why does it keep going up? Like, well, you got more money than you're supposed to get, Mr. Robinson, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, they're like, can't you call somebody? I'm like, I don't got the money. You know what I'm saying? Because, dude, at that moment, I knew I had got. Dude, I felt like Bud Bunny when you just see the sucker, where they just or when I felt my face elongate and just go hee haw. Like, dude, I felt it. I was like, damn, they got me. Dude. But I wasn't knowing to the level of how they got me, because at the time they were doing it, I wasn't paying attention to my emails, and I wasn't paying attention that they were changing the passwords, that they were changing the email that goes to the IG accounts. And so it got to a point, and so like, man, they got so mad at me. The lady just started calling me. Like, she's like, fuck this. Like, she called me on WhatsApp. And she was like, you're old enough to be my father. You're wasting time. Like, dude, they just started going in on me. But before they even got to that point, she was like, calm down. I'm like, what do you mean calm down? Like, I'm not even arguing. Like, what? Like, what's whatever? Because
you better than me. I would have hit that too short. What's the little recorder things that I would have lost.
Gosh.
So I'm not even, dude. I'm not hot. I'm not upset. I feel like a sucker. But my goal is be calm and don't give them anything. Just keep telling them you don't got the money. You don't got the money. So then she's like, I'm like, if you give me my IG back, I possibly could reach out to somebody who probably has the money, and I probably could ask somebody. And they're like, you don't have no friends, you don't have no family, you don't have anybody you can get it. So I'm like, nah, like nobody I know. So then what she does is, and this goes back into the story of Greg, where in the morning time, I told Greg, like, dude, talk to him on the phone, because what they did was they acted like they were Thesis on WhatsApp, and she was like, I'm gonna bring Thesis on the phone on the WhatsApp, and you could talk to him, and maybe he can give you the money.
Okay.
So this is 2 o'clock, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. I'm supposedly talking to Thesis. Now, they had did their homework because they knew he had a show. So they keep telling me they're using the lingo. bro, you just gotta, man, you just gotta do this, bro. You just gotta do this, bro. So I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, okay, I'm kind of feeling that it is, dude. He's like, I gotta, I got a show in the morning. I can't be doing this for so long. You know what I'm saying? So then I was like, you know what? I started getting that feeling in my gut. I was like, I'm not talking to him. I'm not talking to him. So then I was like, just for shits and giggles, who's my manager? And then the line that came after that was, oh, bro, why you playing me right now? Why you asking this questions? And dude, I turned into the donkey and the sucker at the same time at that moment.
Oh, damn.
Like, got me.
Dag nabbit.
I'm like, man, they got me. So then, dude, it just kept going on. So then they got so mad at me and it was like, fuck that. You're being an asshole, blah, 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 blah.
Wow.
It'll cost you 20 grand to get your IG back. Like they just started raising the levels of the money of what's going on. And dude, by that time, I was so deep under, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. And all I could do was like, once I knew that the video was out there, I just immediately was like, man, let me just hit up all my friends to just let them know, like, dude, this is me and it's not legit. And it's, it's something going on to the point where like, man, Howard, which is a person I'm working with, he hit me up in the morning and he was like, dude, I just been going through some shit for the past month. And he's like, dude, I thought you was held hostage, dude. He's like, the video that you had and the way that you look and the way that you said it, he was like, man, I thought somebody had you at gunpoint. I didn't know. He's like, because dude, I'm not a selfie. I don't even do selfies. Like, dude, I'm not a selfie type of guy. I don't like to do anything like that. But I had did it because I didn't know that it was gonna out. I thought it was gonna go on their Instagram.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was gonna be used for my Instagram page. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then, by the time the morning hit and Greg is talking, and he's telling me, he's like, dude, I'm talking to Thesis right now, and I'm like, dude, are you sure you talking to him? Because I'm like, dude. They told me that I was talking to him, and it was not him that I was talking to.
Yeah, he was adamant about no WhatsApp. No, don't do it. Like, damn. Like, but I will say this: we gonna let Brown finish out, and then we gonna close up a little bit. But I will say this: I did have 3 people that reached out to me that was worried about Brown. And for that, man, they my real folks, because I don't mess with everybody. Oh, believe it. People, matter of fact, with me and Drew, I think years ago, me and Drew had something where he could kind of feel, because I got this thing about me. It's not me being arrogant, but if somebody says something to me, it just don't make no sense to me. Like, man, my mind just don't, like, it don't even think of processing it. And Drew, I think me and Drew had a misunderstanding where he thought that I wasn't feeling something he was bringing to the table or whatever. But Drew's a hustler. Like, dude, he's made his way. Like right now, this whole little Monkey Hussle Chronicle thing, it's so dope because Drew's the person that I met from my OG homeboy, Kenny Garden, Sandbox, homeboy, Bird Parks, where I met Drew after the gambling experience. And we got cool, but even like I said, after he moved to Houston, we stayed tight. You know what I'm saying? Like a person that I reach out to Drew every 2 weeks just for motivation. Thesis, I owe him and his mom so much. Oh, hold on. We got somebody in the building right now. They said they got for a grip. I ain't gonna even say what they said, but when they texted me and told me they got for what they got for, I added them. So hold on, we about to bring them in. We about to bring
real
somebody
guy.
in. What's up with your boy?
Tanner.
Yeah, he's coming in. So this dude Santana right here, man, he tapped in. Santana is a faithful soldier. Let me tell you something, man. I had, and I didn't remember it until Imani's mom brought it up a week ago. Me and Imani was gonna fail Mr. Talley's photography class. Now I met Santana with Imani on the first day of Mr. Talley's photography class. Santana was from Chicago. Imani knew the whole little trendy dancing scene. I was all fishbone / hip hop out of the game. You couldn't tell right now by the glasses on Santana's head, but he had a little Superman swirl. and the funny thing about it, God bless his soul, Santana turned me on to house music. I didn't even comprehend it. Like, and I'll tell anybody, I'm oblivious to so much in life. You know what I'm saying? I thought Santana was a weirdo with this house music he's bringing from Chicago or whatever. I listen to at least 4 hours of house music a day right now. You know what I'm saying? So we lost him because I was going too hard on the intro, man. But he got. We gotta get those videos.
So I'll end it, and then we. So basically, not only did I get got for one social media account, I got for 2 social media accounts. So my whole day, my whole next day was like, man, I gotta change my passwords to my bank account. I gotta change everything. Like, dude, it was like a whole day of like revamping everything that I had because they had got so angry at me. They were like, man, they told me to make the video like Sean, like, man, just say this is not a hack. But I had already went online and been like, man, I just got. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're like, you fucked this up. Why did you make that video? Why did you go and do that post? So then for me to make it back up, they were like, well, take a picture of your driver's license and give me your Gmail account and a phone number, and we can work it back in. And I was like, nah. And then she's like, why you're fucking with the rules. You're fucking with the rules. So then they were like, well, send us a passport account. I'm like, nah, I'm not sending you my passport. Like, dude, like they kept escalating on what they wanted to get. And they were like, but I'm looking at 50 grand and I'm looking at it like, man, like but I had dude, I had been so got by that time. It was just crazy. So then like when I call in the morning, like the guy that Howard that thought everything, he was like, dude, he was like, well, how did they get this video? He was like, dude, I was interested in the technology because he was like, dude, it's your face and your voice. How did they do it? He was like, man, he was like, that's the best thing ever. He was like, man, I gotta know this technology of how they got your voice and your face.
And real quick, Howard is a technology guy, like next level, next astronaut, next level technology. So he's looking at Brown like, the way Howard think, he like, we need to get a hold of this technology.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly. So
put his face on there.
So then he's just like, dude, you know, this is bad, man. Like, you know, a lot of people can be, and I like, dude, I know. So he's like, man, let's just make a video, like a little teaser video to just explain to people, like, you know, that what happened, that's not you. And so I was like, man, it just hit me. I was like, dude, fuck that, man. I gotta turn this lemons into lemonade. I'm like, man, Thesis got God. A lot of people that I know could just get God. I mean, Thesis was adamant because he was like, man, he's like, man, I just spent money on this video. He got a single that he had came out with, and he needed to, you know, he needed his IG to promote his music. And so, dude, I feel him because I use social media to promote PharcydeTV, whatever, everything that's going on. I needed to promote whatever. So I was just like, man. And so I wanted to make something because I was like, man, I want Thesis to get his off so he can promote, like man, promote your stuff that's coming out. You can tell people right now, and then we'll jump into Santana. But like man, I just felt that it was important that people kind of know the steps. And like, dude, I'm not the average person that I don't fall into schemes like that because like, dude, I really want to jump into the flower game at the beginning because man, me and Santana was talking about the flower game at the begin, like almost at the beginning of COVID, and I was like, dude, I stayed away from it because I was like, man, I got like that before. So I like man, you're not gonna get me that way. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna be got that way. But Thesis, like let them know your video and stuff like that, so we can just use it to promote whatever you got going on. Because I know shit is kind of fucked up. So
and then we'll get to Santana because Santana texted me, and you ain't gotta put yourself on Front Street like that, Santana. But your text was worthy of me sending you a link to tap you in.
Oh yeah, it's for real.
So Thesis, let people know like man about your video and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just dropped it. You got a little plug right here. Here's could y'all see it? Could you see it?
Yeah, we can see a little bit.
Called Cholino, with my buddy Nico and Tanks. We just dropped it today. Just trying to get it out there, man. It's dope. It's an ode to Cholino Sanchez, an old Corridos artist. So yeah, man, check it out. It's out there. Go ahead.
No, and also, dude, this is God's work. Like honestly, I should have had you on Splendid a long time ago because you got a story, man. Not the weirdo part of the story, but just as far as the cloud makers, like you guys at that moment in time, for you guys to not be like the whole Rick Ross trying to manage you guys and all that. We'll get into that. We're gonna build up. I love to build it up to where we're gonna go. But you got a story to tell, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So once again, real quick. So the name of your video is?
It's Cholino.
Cholino.
Cholino with Tanks and Nico Is. Nico is one of Talib's artists. Really dope cat. Very dope cat. The video's dope, man. It was done by Marmo, who does, he does a lot of stuff for Locksmith, and he does all Murs' videos, and he's got a cool, artist list, and he's really dope. So he did the last video for That Shit Light, which came out really dope, and this one came out really dope, man. I'm really excited about it.
Nah, dope. So I've never had with this, like, once again, this is a Splendidradio, PharcydeTV extension, Monkey Hussle Chronicles, you know what I'm saying? Something that's really dope, a lot of cool energy. But as Drew, Thesis, Brown, and myself were fellowshipping over Monkey Hussle, Santana hit me with a text, and I'm not gonna really go into it. Whatever he wants to reveal from it is all good, but it was worthy of me sending him the link immediately. You know what I'm saying? To bring it in. So break it down, Santana.
Hey, before Santana starts, I'm gonna have to break off, Greg, because we're in the hotel.
No, do your thing, dude.
I got my girl mom tiptoeing because we're in the hotel, so they're like staying off to the side, letting me do my thing.
Dude, I appreciate it. I'm gonna hit you tomorrow, dude. Thank you for everything.
Good to meet you, man.
All right, y'all. Good meeting y'all.
All right, thanks.
All right, yeah. Word. Oh man, I'm in this piece.
Yes, sir.
All right. So along these lines of man, just always know who you're talking to, right? So my story is definitely connected in a way to the way Brown got hustled. The psychology of it is, one, it appeals to a quick lick, right? Then it escalates that you get more than what you actually bargained for. Then there's a cost to get what you invested, right? So how I got slow walked into it is I thought for sure, like this just out of the blue, a DM came and it spoke like this person interacted with me like they were a fan of the show, they had listened to the show, and we had kind of mentioned this whole crypto thing that was happening. That was when Bitcoin had hit about 60K per coin.
Real quick, Santana. Hold on one sec. So, other than me growing up with Santana, so to speak, Santana's a mover and a shaker. You know what I'm saying? He's the cat that is kind of, not even because of COVID, but I just kind of peel back from it. Santana's out there talking to everybody, moving and shaking, trying to see what's the latest thing, what's the newest thing, what's going on, what's popping. You know what I'm saying? So he's a cat that's out there, and he surrounds himself around a bunch of people. And his bet is just that there's more people actually doing than not doing. Just to build you up to that, Santana. So it's not just like you're just somebody that's like, oh, okay, la-di-da-di-dee, whatever. You deal with people who are actually making shit happen.
Right. Now, in this case, everything that happened to me, this is why I can take full responsibility for what happened to me, is that at the time I was up. I was winning. And I was like, oh man, this little, this investment is not even, it's like Brown. I had side money. I had some what do you call it, like retirement pension money coming through from my old company and stuff. And I had just sold like hella Tesla stock. So I was like, oh man, I'm just gonna round, I could take that off the top and invest it. Well, what ends up happening is you invest that money, then they tell you in order to get your profit, you got to pay the IRS tax. You got to pay them some more money to get your investment. So you start thinking that the IRS is really involved, but common sense, the IRS ain't got no motherfucking crypto account. The IRS ain't accepting crypto payments. But it's like, at the time, your mind is in like, oh, it's just one more step. It's always one more extra step. So I found myself like trying, finally, when it got to the point where I was like, I'm not losing no more. I'm not sending y'all no more money, period. Like, you send me my profit, then I'll pay your commission fee, whatever. Never. They never came through. But then I get an offer that now they've added, and they have the account that they'll show that originally my payout was like supposed to be, first it was supposed to be 10, then it was 21. I think right now, if I could share my screen, my trust wallet that they supposedly have my money in, that I have to send them, they just want me to send them $430, and I'll have access to like $40,000 or $50,000. But I look in that account, and they're in what's called kick tokens, right? At one point, these kick tokens are worth nothing. But they show up in that account where, oh, you're supposed to get Bitcoin, but they fooled you. And now you think, I don't want to lose. So all I got to do is send them. First, it will send us $250 more and we'll activate it. I'll send 400 more. Oh, that was yesterday. So in the long haul, I lost a significant amount of money just because my own psychology was like, I was not trying to lose. I always thought, all right, this person is going, they make you really think that this is the very last step, and it never is. And in the end, that 1,000 to become 10, that shit never works. Like that hustle never works. So anybody who's out here, like the company that was getting me, and they said they were like Forex traders. They got these websites where you input you'll see like your account is there, but then they'll start hitting you on WhatsApp at like 4 a.m, 3 a.m. So wherever they are, it might be daytime, but they catching you when you foggy. And they'll use everything from anger. I think the Forex trader that was hitting me up, all of a sudden she was in love with me. She was sending me hella pictures. She was talking about she was in a hotel in LA, come visit me. I'm about to get, I feel like if I would have went to that hotel, I would have got hijacked or hostage situation. It would have escalated to something else.
Yeah.
But at some point, you just got to know when to cut your loss. Like they got me and that's it. Don't even try to get it back.
Hey man, I tell you, I felt like the guy that was in the bed and the doctor had on Unusual Suspects, and the doctor had to come in and translate what the guy was saying, and the guy was saying, Kaiser
Soma.
Hey, that's it.
Hey man. So when we put up the word, right? So that company starts sending out these video links. So if you click the video, I feel like it was some kind of, that's how they was hijacking other people's accounts. But me having to explain to everybody like, but Brown made a video. I was like, yeah, a hostage video, man. Does he really look happy to you? I mean, does he look like he's winning right now? That I was like, dude is under duress. So everybody got when I put up the flag and I sent out my thing on Facebook and Instagram, them fools came after me. They was trying to bait me into clicking on something. Oh, you don't think this is real? You don't think this is real, bro? I was like, first of all, I know I'm not talking to Brown. I know Brown don't talk to me like that.
Hey,
so that's it.
I have some, I can send them to you later, but I have a couple things recently where people have been hitting me online, trying to act like they were my cousin or somewhere else, and I just started talking to them because I got it early and I wanted to see how far they were gonna go. You know what I mean? And they definitely they get to that part, like you say, where they're like, hey, what's wrong? Why you not hitting me back? You don't want to get this money? You can't help me? So I kept those. So every time I get an opportunity, when they try, I get out, I'm like, let's see how far this will go. They'll take it all away.
Hey, man. All right, well, that's it, man. I just know, I don't know the amounts, but I know I took a hit that at a different point in my life, that hit would have made me it would have been devastating. In this case, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna make it back. You know what I'm saying? And the lesson learned is, don't ever go for them short licks. They never gonna turn out right. Never. So yeah, that's it for me.
Nah, that's tight. So we gonna wrap it up. We're gonna let Brown have the last word, but just so everybody knows, Santana is a network mate of mine. He has a show that's been going on for over 15 years called Truth Seekers Radio. You can check it out. You can hear some of the best international music, hip hop, downbeat. If you like the Dilla stuff, if you like the stuff, the really progressive, something you could study to. I kind of listen to some of the Truth Seeker shows very early in the morning when I'm getting my day started. If I'm not listening to something motivational, to get me in the mind state so that I can go out here and deal with these alligators, lions, and
tigers and bears
and wizards, and you know what I'm saying? All these people that's out there. And then with you, risky cereal, like I said, man, I hold this cat right here dear to my heart, man. He has been a beacon of motivation. He's got his little situation popping out there. He's actually at his little, not little, that was miscorrect.
Nah, I understand what you mean now. I even call him a little.
Nah, it's not little. You at your radio station, you know what I'm saying? He took time out to tap into this. So explain a little bit about what you got going on out in Houston.
Okay. All right, cool. So like daily, 365, 7 days a week, you guys can tune in to allrealradio.com. It's all, realradio.com. We have an app, Android and iPhone. You can just go on the site and check it out. I do a morning show, 9 a.m. Central Time to like 11 every morning. Me and Decolonize. Our morning show has been doing well. Oh, we got a coffee, man. We're selling coffee. Our coffee that we're selling. It's called Trey Brew. And shout out to Smooch though for doing the new labels for us. And so we have that on the music side. And I have my first photography show going on right now at the Houston, at the Community Artist Collective, where I'm showing 3 different pieces, you know, and I have a thing called the 16 experiment I'm shooting that I want everybody to tap in on. I'll shoot to you guys so you can check it out. That's what I'm doing.
And real quick, Drew, I was pleasantly surprised by those photos that you sent to me.
Oh, and cool, man.
It comes from a place of real life situations, and you taking hardship and bringing beauty out of it. You know what I'm saying? That's truly what I got out of looking at the photos. They were very hard photos.
Yeah.
But something behind the way that you actually captured the photos, and they weren't iPhone photos. They're actually, you know, you could tell you took it with a very decent camera.
Some of them I did take with my Pixel.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
wow.
That's the thing. I'll tell you. I'll show you which ones. Yeah. Because some things I can only capture with my cell phone because it's happening right then.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But if I get the opportunity, if I've been able to set up a shoot, I'll bring my DSLR out. But a lot of times I catch it with my phone. Yeah, with my Pixel.
Okay, cool. And then Brown will let you close it out, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? Brown's my business partner. I manage him, homeboy forever. I wanted to get him in a forum where he could speak, and I wanted to interview him, but he's introvert. Like, dude, that's not his thing. His thing is just more or less doing things that are creative, doing things that are progressive. Like that's his thing. He really doesn't get off of the accolade of being kind of, I mean, he'll take a compliment for like his musical accomplishments and whatnot, but like he doesn't do what he does for that part. It's a cool little thing that comes along with it, but he's not about that life at all. So in a twisted way, the Monkey Hussle Chronicles did bring forth me finally being able to get him into a situation. And with this, I'm sure I'm going to interview him, and there's going to be some more interesting things that are going to come along down the line on this Splendid PharcydeTV collaboration. But it's on you, Brown. Anything else you want to say? We'll let you close it out.
Man, I just say, like, man, the first thing is communication, man. Direct things to watch out for during the hustle. Communication, make sure you have direct communication. Make sure you ask hella questions. It's like ask questions. And if you hesitant and it seems like a lot to do, it's a lot to do. Like you're doing too much. If you feel like you're doing too much, you're doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever you have to go outside of your parameters, if it's not just a quick whatever, then it's too much. Yeah, I'm not really I'm not the selfie guy, like the video and all that kind of stuff. That's just not, dude. I don't like doing that stuff. That's not me at all. But the reason why I felt I need to come on here, for one, people were just, when Howard called me, he was like, dude, are you safe? I thought he was at gunpoint, whatever. I was like, man, nah, it was just whatever. And then I just felt like damn, you know what? I like, man, I'm on this mountainside and there's a hell of a cliff. And dude, because I have so many, there's so many followers and there's so many people that I talk, like I kind of go back and forth with, I felt like I was just leading people to just walk off this cliff, man. Like it's just, and there's no way to communicate and tell people like, that's not me, or this is not real. It's not really happening. Like, dude, whatever that video looks like and you can easily get, that's not what goes down. So I felt it was important to just tell people the site that got me was called Linux Coin Trade. Don't do it. The name of the lady that got me was called, her name is Ashley FX something, blah, blah, blah. Right now, the IGs, both of the IGs are still being captured, hostage, whatever you want to, however you want to put it. And you know, if whatever money you got going on right now, like just know that there's no easy buck, man. They're like the fast money is not fast money. Like it's not going down like that. And it's so crazy because, dude, I had my daughter tell me about some stuff. She was like, Dad, like, you gotta be careful because a lot of the money that people are using for these things they're basically laundering money. They're laundering money to do from other things. And my goal was like, I'm gonna give my mom some money, I'm gonna give my daughter some money, I'm gonna give my girl some money. Like, man, I'm gonna be able to just break off people. We're gonna smile, we're gonna laugh, we can order some Postmates. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, like we can have we can have a vacation. When I saw the 50K, I saw the 50 racks. I'm like, oh, it happened. I'm like, dude, this is, I could like, man, after all the crazy 2020, 21 has brought, I was like, man, I'm going to be able to invest. I'll be able to just do whatever. But that wasn't the case, man. And it's so crazy because, dude, me and Smooch, Greg, like even Santana, even Risky Zero, I feel like we know what it takes to work hard for the money. Like, dude, nothing like I don't mind putting in the work to just do. I'll put in double the work to just get not sometimes what you feel like you deserve. Like, I'll go all out the way to do it. And I was like, man, did I finally hit the lotto? Did God finally give me the luck that I see everybody else have and talk about? Like, man, like you hear people telling these good stories and talking about all this stuff. And dude, it's not written in my stars. Like, dude, whatever stars is written out there or whatever is going on, it wasn't written in my situation. So I felt that I needed to come on here and explain to people. And Greg was like, dude, Monkey Hussle, dude, we gotta do it. And I felt like, I was like, man, maybe I can laugh. Like I said, laughter is the best medicine. Maybe I can laugh about it. Still, my shit is still fucked up. I mean, there's money lost, the IG still whatever. But at the same time, I don't want people to go through the shit that I'm going through or you know, have that above their heads where they feel like, because dude, I can imagine like during this whole COVID shit, some shit happened and people just commit suicide, man. Like everybody's minds is not geared. Like if they had hella loss in their family, hella things going on, I can see people just taking it to the lens of like, man, fuck it. It's just, today's the day it's going to end right here. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to take it further. So I just wanted to just come on here and just tell people like, man, even the best of us, the people that, like I said, I went on Google, like, man, I don't fall into scams like that. I don't really do that. I'm an introvert. I don't like to socialize like that too much. And I got, man, like, man, the sucker donkey, the boot across the face, you know, and everything that a 1950 the bricks, everything
$400 of $600 worth of bricks.
Everything that a 1950s Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd, Daffy Duck with his bill being twisted to around the way. Like I experienced it all in one late night call and still going through it right now. But hey, I appreciate life is, we still here, still breathing. And I appreciate Smooch to just even come with he just said Monkey Hussle. And I was like, dude, let's run it. I was like, man, we gotta run it.
But because the thing about it, like I say, I can honestly say right now, and I don't say this with any I don't say this lightly. Like, we're all progressive in our own right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just worked 7 days straight, and man, like, I'm exhausted. But I can be exhausted knowing I made an honest buck. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't jerk anybody out of whatever. And I feel like Drew, once again, I commend him, Risky Serial, because he went to Houston and just created a whole new way. Like, really just went and just did a whole new thing where, like, man, I got nuts when it comes to like trying to learn. Brown's helped me a lot with technology, but as far as me trying to like use my mind to make money, I got nuts with that. But as far as like the physical thing and then having people depend on you, like not homeboys who you're managing or whatever, but your family, to uproot your family somewhere and then to make a way. Oh man, commendable. You know what I'm saying? Commendable. And that's why I'm gonna call you a minimal of every 2 weeks to just tap in with you, to just get that energy from you. So
appreciate it. I get the energy from you. It's reciprocal, you know.
Yeah, no, man, I really appreciate that. So with that being said, man, this is a Splendid Radio on PharcydeTV, Monkey Hussle Chronicle. It wasn't intended to go so far, but we really had to bring it in. And then I won't say the amount of money that Santana got hustled for, but it was a considerable amount more than any of the three of us got hustled, or the four with Thesis being involved got hustled for. So I was like, you know what? He deserves to be part of this conversation, if only for him to just give his insight. So with that being said, thank you, gentlemen. This has been Splendid Radio on Pharcyde.
People.